Hi, my name is Muhammad Azly bin Azman and my partner is Shaliana binti Haris. Today, we would like to talk about National Museum in Malaysia, which is the topic that we have chosen to do our presentation. So now, I will be the first presenter and will follow by my partner. So let's begin. First, I would like to talk about the history of National Museum in Malaysia. The history of museum in Malaysia began in 1883 when the British government established the Perak Museum at Taiping. This was followed by the Sarawak Museum in Kuching in 1888 and subsequently Selangor Museum in 1996. In 1910, the management of Perak and Selangor Museum were consolidated under the Department of Museum of Federated Malay States. In 1930, the management was again separated as a step under the decentralized system implemented by the British government. Part of the Selangor Museum building was later destroyed by the bombing carried out by the Alliance Air Force on 10 March 1945. As a result, most of the collection were also destroyed. 2 years after the independence, in 1959, the government appointed an architect, Mr. Ho Kok Hoi, to design the proposed National Museum to be built on the ruins of the Selangor Museum. Its construction started in 1962 and on August 31, 1963, the Museum Negara building was finally complete and opened by the Third Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Tuanku Sheikh Putera Al-Haj Ibni Said Hassan Jamalullah. Now, I would like to talk about tourism development. Tourism development is not merely about attracting visitors. It is about creating meaningful experience, fostering cultural understanding, and preserving our heritage for future generations. In this regard, the National Museum of Malaysia holds a special place, serving as a custodian of the nation's history, art, and culture. Now, we will explore about various strategies and initiatives aimed at enhancing tourism at the national museums. First, we have enhancing exhibits. Continuously update and diversify exhibits to showcase Malaysian rich cultural heritage, history, and art. This can include rotating exhibit, interactive display, and multimedia presentation to engage visitors of all ages. Second, cultural event and festival. Organize cultural event and festival at the museum to celebrate Malaysia's diverse heritage. These events can include traditional performance, food festival, and workshops on arts and crafts. Third, educational programs. Offer educational programs for schools and tourists such as guided tours, workshops, and lectures on Malaysian history. This program can be tailored to different age groups and interests. Fourth, digital presence. Establish a strong digital presence through a website, social media channel, and virtual tours, and this allows potential visitors to explore museum online and promote upcoming events and exhibits. And lastly, partnership and collaborations. Collaborate with other cultural institutions, tourism boards, and local business to promote the museum and create package deals for tourists. Partnership can also lead to joint exhibit and promotional campaigns. Lastly, I would like to talk about visitor statistics. The first image titled Visitor Statistics to Museums under the Department of Museum Malaysia from January 1 to December 31, 2022 presents a detailed breakdown of visitor categories to various museums in Malaysia throughout the year 2022. The categories include local visitors, students, foreign visitors, and participants in enrich or outreach programs. Each row represents a different museum with the corresponding visitor statistic for each category. The table also provides the total number of visitors for each category and the overall total. The last row shows the overall target for museum visitors. The table is color-coded with eternity shaders for readability, and there is watermark or design on the right side of the table.
and Assalamualaikum. My name is Shaliana binti Haris. I will be the next presenter. Now let's talk about tourism policies for the Museum of Malaysia. First, visitor engagement and education. This involves creating interactive exhibits and guided tours to provide engaging educational experience for visitors. It includes incorporating multi-language signage, audio guides, and diverse educational programs to center to different audience and enhance learning opportunities. And second, cultural preservations and promotions. This focuses on implementing policies and initiatives aimed at preserving and showcasing Malaysia's rich cultural heritage. It involves collaborating with local communities and cultural organizations to organize events, workshops, and exhibitions that celebrate and promote Malaysia culture. And number three is sustainable tourism practices. This entails adopting eco-friendly measures to minimize the environmental impact of tourism activities. It includes promoting responsible travel behavior among tourists, such as reducing waste and conserving resources, as well as promoting sustainable transportation options like cycling, walking, or using public transportation to reduce carbon emissions. Now let's move to relevant social, economic, and environmental factors for the National Museum of Malaysia. First, tourism trends and economic conditions. Fluctuations in tourism patterns and economic conditions directly affect the National Museum of Malaysia. Change in visitor numbers can impact revenue from ticket sales and other resources, while economic downturns may lead to reduced tourism spending overall, potential resulting in budget constraints for the museum's operations and development project. And number two is government policies and funding. The museum's operations and initiatives are greatly influenced by government policies related to tourism, culture, and heritage preservations. Change in these policies can affect the museum's funding, as it often relies on government support for financial resources. Shift in government priorities or budget allocations can lead to fluctuations in funding availability, which in turn may impact the museum's ability to carry out its programs and projects. And number three is cultural diversity and heritage preservations. Malaysia's rich cultural diversity and heritage are central to the National Museum's missions. Social economic factors such as urbanizations, globalizations, and change in traditional practices can influence cultural dynamic and heritage preservation efforts. The museums play a crucial role in promoting national identity and unity by showcasing Malaysia's diverse cultural heritage and fostering an appreciation for its traditions and history amidst evolving social economic landscape. The current stage of the TALC Tourism Area Life Cycle for the National Museum of Malaysia being in the consolidation phase as shown in the graph. The consolidation phase is in the fourth phase, means that the museum has already experienced significant growth and the development in the terms of visitor number, infrastructure, and the recognitions. During this phase, the focus shifts from rapid expansions to stabilizing and improving the quality of existing offerings. Next is factors influencing the progressions through this stage include first, infrastructure development. This means having the necessary things in place like roads, hotel, and services to handle tourists. If a place doesn't have good infrastructure, tourists won't want to visit or stay long. And number 2 is facilities. These are the extra things tourists need or want, like parking, bathroom, places to eat, and shops to buy souvenirs. Having this makes tourists happier and more likely to enjoy their visits. And number 3 is local community responses. This is about how the people who live in the area react to tourism. If they are friendly and supportive, it creates a good vibe for tourists. Also, if locals are involved in making tourism better, it can help make it more sustainable, meaning it can last longer without harming the environment or community.
That's all from us. Thank you.